Hey, how you doing? Pat here. We are at Annie Oakley's gravesite, and unfortunately the sun's in the worst possible place for filming. But let's go over here, check it out. In case you're not familiar with Annie Oakley, she was a very famous sharpshooter from back in the day, a member of Wild Bill's Wild West show. She is buried here near Greenville, Ohio. I'm going to show you via pictures her birthplace. I didn't really want to take videos there just because the neighbors were out and about and it was very close to people's homes, and I want to respect their privacy. And then here on the reverse side, the sunlight's in my favor right now because it's early in the morning. So that is facing west, that is facing east, so the eastern sun is just blinding right now. If you don't know the history, I'm not going to go crazy into it, but there you can see it. I've already touched basically the highlights where she was a famous shooter. And it looks like people are leaving her some ammunition. You got to respect that. They both died in 1926. All right. Let's get going to what's kind of considered to be her hometown, I guess. All right, we've made it to Greenville. We can see that we're at the Annie Oakley Memorial Park. And there she is from the backside anyways. Yeah, I'm here at the wrong time of day for the lighting, but that seems to be a habit I have. It's okay.
And here she is, Phoebe Ann Mosey, born August 13th, 1860. She was part of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
And let's take a look down the beautiful Main Street here. It is July 5th, so that's most likely why all the flags are out in celebration of our Independence Day. And there's the courthouse up there. We're going to take a ride through town here in a little bit. I'll throw the, what's the name of my camera? Anyway, the 360 style camera. No, it's not the GoPro, it's the other one, the Insta360. A subject for another day, something I have done in the past before I tried this whole YouTube thing, is this is also the hometown of Zachariah Lansdowne, if I'm pronouncing that right, the commander of the USS Shenandoah. As you can read, America's first rigid airship, and there's a story behind that I'll go into some other day. Try to zoom in and post a little bit the best I can with an action camera. We have a nice mural of Annie Oakley across the street here, but here is just a different view. All right, let's get on the bike and just go take a ride around town and see what there is to see.
Hey, welcome to Greenville. Greenville is a historic location of Fort Greenville, built in November of 1793 by General Anthony Wayne's Legion of the United States during the Northwest Indian War. Greenville was named for the Revolutionary War hero Nathaniel Greene. As we get ready to tour the town here, I'm sure I'm going to butcher some of this, so please bear with me, but some of the history of Greenville, some of the Native American tribes that used to live in the area were the Wyandot, the Delaware, the Shawnee, the Ottawa, the Chippewa, the Potawatomi, the Miami, the Wee, the Kickapoo, who actually known people that were part of that tribe, the Pinskata, or Pinskaha, something like that, the Kaskia, and the Ella River. So please forgive me for butchering some of that, but I'm not the best when it comes to these names. As we cruise down Main Street here, check out the courthouse building there on the left. But the town was founded in August of 1808. As we've already explored, kind of sort of the hometown of Annie Oakley, who I'm sure you've all heard of by now. The Treaty of Greenville was signed at the fort on August 3rd, 1795, with the chief of the tribes that confronted the U.S. and brought an end to the Great Indian Wars and opened the Northwest Territory for European American settlement. The fort was a training ground and base of operation for approximately 3,000 soldiers of the Legion and Kentucky militia before their August 1794 march northward to the Battle of Fallen Timbers. And despite all the cool history of the town here, it's worth coming to just to look at the buildings. This main street has been amazing. And here we're coming into the main roundabout of the town, and you can see all the American flags out for the July 4th holiday. Off to the right there is your more modern part of town. As we head out of town here, there's really cool looking old cemetery just up here.
Wow. Now that's quite the entrance to a graveyard, isn't it? Donated by Frank McWhickney and wife, 1903.
The Army abandoned Fort Greenville back in 1796, and they partially burned it to recover the nails, which was pretty common back in those days because nails were made by blacksmiths and they were extremely expensive. But in the War of 1812, they did refit part of it to use it as a supply depot and staging area. For those of you that love numbers and coincidences, the city has an area of approximately 6.66 square miles. A cool fun fact of this town is KitchenAid and BASF North America have offices here in town. Check out that church. We need to bring architecture back into our buildings instead of just all these blah square rectangular buildings with no character. Cool little fun fact. If any of you remember To Catch a Predator, that used to be all about confronting child predators. There was the 4th investigation of the TV series was here in town. The Greenville Local History Museum, the Garst Museum, which features the most extensively known collections of memorabilia from Annie Oakley, it's here in town. It also holds historical artifacts relating to Anthony Wayne and the Treaty of Greenville, as well as Native American artifacts. You have to stick around to the end to see what this church did later in the day. Yeah, check out this courthouse. Again, we just don't have buildings like this anymore. Just to touch back on Annie Oakley, because she's a lot of the reason I came here, check out the YouTube channel Sidetrack Adventures. He did a really good in-depth video on her and her life. No, I'm not affiliated with him at all, just enjoy his channel and thought you might like it as well.
Okay, we are pretty much back to where I started this tour. I hope you liked seeing all things Annie Oakley in the town of Greenville. If you would, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't. What an amazing town, isn't it? I guess I need to pay attention. I have a green light up here. If you're in the area, stop and check it out. This town is amazing. It's beautiful.
But before we leave you here in Greenville, I had lunch here at the Double M Diner, and you talk about tiny. This thing only had just a couple of tables, but really good service and decent food in this beautiful old building. But if nothing else, you got to check out the men's room if you're a man. Talk about Thomas Crapper, right? I mean, that's something right out of the past.